Welcome back to Narrations. Some dreams feel impossible. Not because they're too big, but because life never gives you the chance to reach them. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, 2005, is a magical and emotional story about a kind-hearted boy who gets the opportunity of a lifetime, only to discover that the greatest reward isn't what he expected. Charlie Bucket lives in a small, crooked house at the edge of a quiet town. The roof leaks. The walls creak. And winter feels colder than it should. Inside, his family lives close together. Not by choice, but by necessity. His parents work hard. Long hours. Small income. Just enough to survive. And his grandparents, all four of them, share a single bed. Because even space is something they can't afford. But despite everything, there is warmth in that house. Not from money, but from love. They laugh together, eat together, stay close. And Charlie? He never complains. Because he sees what matters, not what's missing. Every day, on his way to school, Charlie passes something extraordinary. The Chocolate Factory. Massive. Silent. Surrounded by tall gates and mystery. Owned by a man no one understands. Willy Wonka. Once the greatest chocolatier in the world. Creative. Brilliant. A man who turned candy into something magical. But years ago, he disappeared. Closed his factory. Locked its doors. And since then, no one has seen him. No workers go in. No workers come out. And yet, the factory still runs. Producing chocolate that somehow reaches the world. No one knows how. No one knows why. And that mystery only grows. Charlie listens to stories about Wonka. Stories filled with imagination. Candy that never melts. Gum that tastes like full meals. Ideas that don't feel real. But Charlie doesn't question them. Because for him, believing is easier than understanding. And even though he dreams about it, he never expects to be part of it. Because dreams like that don't happen to people like him. Then one day, everything changes. Willy Wonka makes an announcement. 5 golden tickets have been hidden inside chocolate bars. 5. And whoever finds them will be invited inside the factory. Not just to visit, but to see everything. To experience the magic. The world reacts instantly. People rush to stores. Buy chocolate in bulk. Searching. Hoping. Because this isn't just a prize. It's a chance to step into something impossible. The first ticket is found. Augustus Gloop. A boy who eats without limits. Driven by appetite. The second. Veruca Salt. A girl who gets everything she asks for. Because her parents make sure she does. The third. Violet Beauregard. Obsessed with winning. Always needing to be the best. The fourth. Mike TV. A boy consumed by screens. Detached from everything else. Each one different. But all connected by something. Excess. Too much of one thing. And then, there's Charlie. Who has almost nothing. He gets 1 chocolate bar a year. On his birthday. And even then, he doesn't rush. He takes his time. Savoring it. Because for him, it's not just candy. It's something rare. Something special. The last ticket remains unfound. And the world becomes desperate. People search harder. Hope fades. Until one quiet moment changes everything. Charlie finds money on the street. Not a lot. Just enough. To buy 1 bar. He hesitates. Because this isn't just about buying chocolate. It's about hope. And hope can be dangerous. But he buys it anyway. Opens it slowly. Carefully. And there it is. The final golden ticket. His life changes instantly. Not loudly, but completely. His family gathers around him. Not excited for the prize, But for him. Because this isn't just an opportunity. It's something more. Proof. That even in the smallest lives, something extraordinary can happen. The day arrives. The gates open. And for the first time in years, the factory welcomes visitors. Charlie walks in with his grandfather, step by step, into a world that feels impossible. The moment they enter, everything changes. Color, light, movement. A chocolate river flows. Candy grows like plants. Everything is alive. Everything is magical. And at the center of it all, Willy Wonka appears. Energetic. Strange. Unpredictable. A man who doesn't follow normal rules. He greets them. But something feels off. Because his smiles don't feel natural. His words don't feel complete. As if there's something deeper. He's not saying. The tour begins. And almost immediately, the cracks begin to show. Augustus sees the chocolate river. And doesn't hesitate. He drinks from it. Falls in. And is pulled away. Just like that. Gone. The group panics. But Wonka doesn't. Because this was expected. And as the tour continues, it becomes clear. This isn't just a tour. It's something else. Something planned. Something that's only just beginning to reveal itself. And Charlie is right in the middle of it. The factory doesn't slow down. If anything, it becomes more unpredictable. Because after Augustus disappears into the chocolate river, the tone shifts. The excitement fades. And something else replaces it. Unease. The remaining children look around differently now. Less excited. More cautious. Because what felt like a dream is starting to feel like a test. But Willy Wonka continues as if nothing unusual happened. Calm. Cheerful. As if everything is exactly as it should be. And that's what makes it stranger. They move into the next room. Filled with inventions. Candy that doesn't exist anywhere else. Wonka introduces a special gum. A single piece that contains an entire meal. Soup. Dinner. Dessert. All in one. Violet is immediately drawn to it. Because for her, winning matters more than anything. She doesn't listen to warnings. Doesn't wait. She takes the gum. Chews. At first, it works. The flavors change. The experience builds. Exactly as Wonka described. But then, something goes wrong. Her body reacts. She swells. Expands. Turns blue. Becoming something completely different. And just like that, she's gone too. Taken away. Another child removed. Another mistake made. The pattern becomes clear. But no one says it out loud. Because admitting it means accepting what this really is. They continue. Fewer now. Moving deeper into the factory. Each room more surreal than the last. Each moment more controlled. Mike TV enters a room filled with technology. A system that sends chocolate through television. Breaking it down. Rebuilding it somewhere else. To him, this is everything. Because this is his world. Screens. Control. He doesn't hesitate. He wants to try it himself. He steps into the machine. And in seconds, he disappears. Reappearing inside a television. Small. Trapped. And just like that, he's gone too. The group grows smaller again. Now only Charlie and Veruca remain. They enter a room filled with squirrels. Organized. Precise. Sorting nuts. Veruca sees them. And immediately wants one. Not later. Not eventually. Now. She demands it. Just like she always has. But this time, it doesn't work. The squirrels react. Not with fear. But with judgment. They surround her. Determined she's a bad nut. And send her away. Gone. Just like the others. And suddenly, there's only one child left. Charlie. Quiet. Observant. Patient. He didn't take more than he needed. Didn't ignore warnings. Didn't demand control. He simply experienced everything. And now, the truth begins to reveal itself. Willy Wonka stops. Looks at him differently. Because this was never random. Never just a tour. It was a selection. A test. To find someone worthy. Someone who understands. And Charlie. Past. Wonka offers him everything. The factory. The future. A life beyond anything he imagined. But there's a condition. Charlie must leave his family behind. Completely. No contact. No connection. Because in Wonka's world, family doesn't exist. Charlie hesitates. Not because the offer isn't incredible, but because something feels wrong. Because everything he values is tied to his family, and giving that up means losing himself. So he refuses. Quietly, but firmly. Wonka is confused. Because no one has ever said no. But Charlie walks away, choosing something smaller, but more meaningful. Time passes. Wonka is left alone. And for the first time, he begins to question something. Not his work, but his life. Because Charlie made him realize something. That success without connection feels empty. Eventually, he seeks Charlie out. Not as a creator, but as someone trying to understand. And together, they face something Wonka avoided for years. His past. His father. The reason he disconnected from everything. The reason he built a world without family. But this time, he doesn't run. He faces it. And something changes. Because healing doesn't come from perfection. It comes from connection. Wonka returns. Not alone. But with Charlie. And for the first time, the factory feels different. Not just magical, but alive. Because now, it has something it never had before. A family. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory isn't just about magic and candy. It's about choosing what truly matters, and realizing that kindness, patience, and family are more valuable than anything else. If you enjoyed listening to this narration, please like, share, and subscribe for more movie stories. I'll see you in the next one.